This is a Fox News alert. According to U.S. military sources, Iran's response to the killing of Qasem Soleimani has begun tonight. Multiple rockets apparently hit an Iraqi air base in that country where American troops are located. Gil Barndollar is a former Marine Corps captain and the senior fellow at Defense Priorities. We're happy to have him on set tonight. Gil, thanks so much for coming on. Where does this put us, would you say, this latest salvo from Iran?
Well, this is the entirely predictable outcome of what happened last week, right? We killed Qasem Soleimani, and we can do some hollow moralizing about him and about who he was and about blood in his hands. But we killed the second most powerful person in Iran, one of the most popular people in their country. How do we think they were going to react, you know?
Do you think that what happened tonight, and again, we're only repeating what we are hearing right now because it's unfolding in real time, but apparently no Americans have been injured in this attack. Is it plausible that this could be enough, that the Iranian government could say to itself and to the world, we responded to the killing and that's it?
Yeah, look, I really hope so. I mean, you know, I've got friends in uniform and out of uniform both in the Persian Gulf right now, and a lot more who would be headed on the way there if things get any worse. And so, you know, God willing, there are no casualties tonight. But it's possible. I mean, there's so little trust on both sides between us and the Iranians, but there are people that could serve as go-betweens, as interlocutors, the Omanis, the Qataris, people out of the region, the Japanese. There are ways to off-ramp here, especially if no Americans were killed. But otherwise, where do we go, you know?
Is it in the interest of the United States, do you think, to not respond to this? Will we respond to this attack? What should we do? What are we likely to do?
Well, we can go in a few different directions, right? We can go tit for tat on this and continue to climb up the ladder, the escalatory ladder you hear so much about these days. We can respond disproportionately and throw ourselves unequivocally into a full-blown war with Iran. But what are we going to do there? Are we going to fight a regime change war with Iran, which is orders of magnitude bigger than anything we've done, certainly since Vietnam? You know, that country, talk to people that have done military planning on that. That country has mountains on three sides and ocean on the other. Are we really going to invade a country of 80 million people and depose that regime? I don't think we're going to do that. I don't think we think we're going to do that. So where does that leave us? I think there are roads to off-ramp, but I think it's extremely difficult with how far down this road we've gone, unfortunately.
You think the off-ramp is difficult? It's difficult to pull away at this point, you're saying?
There's so many voices on both sides, and there's so little trust. You know, I would say right now the hardliners in both camps are ascendant. Certainly here in Washington, when you look at who seems to have the president's ear and which way we're going, none of this had to happen. You know, you can go as far back. Go back to December, you can go back to Soleimani's death, you can go back to 1979 if you want, but we don't have to be in this position. And the only people benefiting are the real challenges, the real threats to America, you know, China and places like that.
We know that there are an awful lot of ideologues in Washington, the Bill Kristol, Max Boot contingency, who have been pushing for this kind of event for a long, long time. But what about uniformed military leadership at the Pentagon? Where are they, if you can generalize?
At the risk of generalizing, I mean, I think maybe some of them unfortunately fall into the trap of thinking we can push around and bully and get our way short of a major war. But the Iranian regime is as unpopular as it is, as sclerotic and you know, decrepit as it is not going to just collapse with a little bit of a push. You know, this isn't. We're not going to incite a revolution in the streets overnight. We're kidding ourselves if we think that.
Yeah, we've been hoping for that, and I think, you know, most people would welcome that, most Americans, but I don't think most would welcome a full-blown war. Gil Barndollar, thanks so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate it.